Well, it's running, but it sounds like... Hey, welcome back. This is Nate from Rusty Roller, back on this immaculate restoration of a 48 International panel truck. Just kidding, it's a rusted out box with a worn out drivetrain. So I'm going to raise the back end up. I'm going to raise the back of the body up a couple inches, slap in some gauges, and I'm going to attempt to get it running. Let's get into it. So I'm going to start this thing up for the first time in 2 years. Plus, I changed a fuel filter and a fuel line, so it's probably going to spit and sputter a little bit. Probably won't start up right away, and then let it run for a few minutes and see how it sounds. Let's do it. Should have started by now. Might have a loose wire somewhere or something. So here's what the problem was. It was leaking a lot of gas from underneath the throttle position sensor. And basically I found out it was both injectors were leaking. Big time. I thought I might have had to buy some new injectors because they were both leaking. And it's been sitting 2 years. I figured, oh yeah, O-rings are worn out or whatever. But I noticed when I first bought this 2 years ago, when I first took the air cleaner off, I noticed these two black caps here. That's what holds down the injectors. There's kind of a gap on both of them. They didn't look seated right, but it ran fine. Nothing ever leaked. I drove it, I think, like 45 minutes to an hour home, and it ran perfectly fine. No leaks, nothing. So I didn't think anything of it. Well, I got to start it up just now, and yeah, it won't start. Completely flooded out. And I think that was why. Somebody put some injectors in a while back. They didn't have them seated all the way in, both of them. And that's why the caps were sticking up a little bit. I took them out, greased up the little O-rings a little bit, and then put them back in, tapped them down, make sure they snap in, and make sure they're seated right. And there's no gaps in the caps now, so it should start up. Try it again. We got other problems. Well, another possible problem it could be is that I put an aftermarket oil pressure gauge in it. So I had to take the old pressure sensor out and, of course, unhook the connector. And I put the new sensor in, hooked the gauge straight up to that. So I'm thinking maybe the computer, I'm not sure, I can't find a straight answer on this, but I think maybe the computer recognizes it's got zero oil pressure and it won't let it fire up. So I went ahead and switched it back, plugged it back in. We'll see what happens. Well, it's running, but it sounds like shit. Smoke test for vacuum leaks. Can you tell where the leak's at? Yeah, right there underneath that throttle position shaft. That's not supposed to be like that, so that is the main problem. One of the main problems. That is a massive leak. So that's not great. So if you look down in the throttle body, so I'm grabbing it where the throttle position sensor hooks onto, and I'm moving it. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there is play in that shaft. You can kind of hear it clicking too as I move it. So that shaft is either worn down or the bore that the shaft goes into is worn down. Either way, I'm going to have to get a whole new throttle body. So that sucks because I've seen I've seen a few already on eBay. The ones that have been tested and cleaned, they want top dollar like $260, $270, something like that. So I'm gonna have to hunt down a throttle body for this. 88 to 91, 318 is what I'm looking for. It's not a common problem, but it does happen. It's kind of rare. Old carburetors do the same thing. They kind of wear out there too sometimes. Not very common though, and I don't see how it ran perfectly fine when I brought it home. And I even started it up and ran it a few times after I brought it home. A couple days later, started, ran fine, and then sits for 2 years, and that shaft wears out. It's just sitting there. So I don't get that, but it is what it is. It's definitely worn out, and I definitely can't drive it like that. So I got some new gauges, pretty cheap off Amazon. I was hoping for something a little more old style, 40s, 50s style, but that's as close as I can get without spending a fortune. I found a set from Autometer. I think it was Autometer. It looked exactly like what I was looking for, 40 style kind of. But it's like $800. There ain't no way I'm paying $800 for some gauges. So all three of these, like $150. And that's got 4 gauges in it. So pretty damn cheap. Might come back and bite me in the ass. We'll see. They got decent reviews on Amazon. So here's the old gauges. Pretty rusty and crusty. Speedometer's seized up in the back. It won't even turn. Even after some PB Blaster, WD, and all that. I don't even know if they work. It's a GPS speedometer. $60. Pretty cheap. Hopefully it'll work. So I got a piece of scrap steel just laying around. 18 gauge sheet metal. A little rusty, but that's cool. That's the way I like it. Gonna go ahead and cut it out and then drill my holes for the gauges. And I wanted to get a little creative, I guess, with this. And I found this laying around. I don't know where it came from or whatever, but I'll put this over it kind of like that. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. I'll cut this out. Then I got to figure out how I'm going to drill the big holes. So I can't do it with the hole saw because it'll catch all the little holes there and just tear it up. So I might just use like a Dremel tool or something. Okay, gauges are in. I think it looks pretty good. Still not quite as old as I wanted it to look, but it's all right. I still don't want to pay $800 for just the style, so these will do as long as they're reliable and they last. And I'm fine with this. Looks pretty good. Finished wiring them up. I did buy this interface thing from Speedway for the fuel gauge. Because you have to, if you have an aftermarket fuel gauge for any vehicle, you have to match the ohms with the gauge to the sending unit of the gas tank. And when I ordered this gauge, they did have 2 different options, and of course neither option was the one that I needed for my sending unit for the Dakota. So I had to order an interface that kind of converts from one to the other, and it matches it, and that was about $100. So altogether, these gauges, plus the tack, and that interface module thing, about 260, 270. So that's not bad compared to $800. I'm good with that. Moving on. So the problem was that this master cylinder was angled back too far. When I built the firewall, I didn't really pay attention to how that was going to line up once that was all on there. And the firewall is kind of tilted back a little bit. Not much. It's not bad. But the way the booster sits kind of kicks it out even more, which in turn kicks the master cylinder up, obviously. So my concern was all the fluid's going to be back here. If I bust a brake line in the back, lose a bunch of fluid, then all the fluid's going to go back here out of the front, and then I won't even have front brakes either. So I was going to take all this off and cut out the firewall and kind of spring it forward more and then put it back on. But then I thought, what if I shim it? So I put a stack of washers on the top bolts on the booster back there on the firewall. And that did help some, brought it forward a little bit. It's better now than what it was. It's still not 100% ideal, but it's better. But also it sits pretty low in the back. I've been debating on whether to lower the front or raise the back. And I really should have planned a little more when I set this body on here because, I mean, I got all the mounts. All the mounts are made. It's bolted down. It's ready to roll. But when I first did it, I was thinking I was going to put drop spindles on the front, 2-inch drop spindles, which would have been pretty even. Would have looked pretty good. But the more I thought about it, I'm on a crappy gravel road. I just took this out a few days ago, and I bottomed out a little bit as I was turning out onto the highway because our road sucks. Yeah, I like them low, but around here I'd probably be better off going the same height in the back that it is the front. Plus the ball joints are good, springs are good, everything's good in the front. So I don't want to go mess with all that. They're like $450 for the drop spindles and then all the work to do it. Or I could just raise the body 2 inches in the back and even it out that way. And that'll help with the angle of the master cylinder. It'll move it forward even more. So I think a combination of shimming the brake booster and raising the butt end 2 inches, that'll probably be the way to go. Give it a body lift in the back, not the front. Yes, this was okayed by a certified safety inspector. It's fine. No, actually, I don't think I'm going to do this. I started jacking it up and I got it about ½ inch up off the frame. I started thinking, man, what if those boards, if something shifts just a little bit and those boards just shoot out either side? I'm only going up 2 inches. So if it does fall, it's not that far. It's not really going to mess anything up. But, I mean, the boards are going to fly out pretty fast, and who knows where they're going to go. Probably being overly cautious. I don't think it would go anywhere because I still got the front mounts. I still got the front body mounts tight, so I don't think it would go anywhere anyway. I don't think it would shift side to side. But you never know. I'm going to scrap this idea. I'm only lifting the back, so maybe roughly 500 or 600 pounds I'm lifting. So, I mean, which the engine hoist can handle that, but whatever. So I'm not going to do it this way. But I do have a gantry crane that I bought a while back, but it's still in pieces over in the other shop. I haven't put it together yet. So I think I'll just go ahead and do that. Pay no attention to that dent there. The guy that lifted this body off with the tractor used a chain, and the weight of it dented that in. Messed it up pretty bad. That'll be fixed later on. I don't know how, but I'm going to have to fix it for the doors to shut right. That bald guy, I don't know. I'm going to have to fire him. Deals can be had. $600 for this gantry crane off Marketplace. It's a Harbor Freight gantry crane, and this whole setup would be well over $1,000 if I bought it brand new. And I paid $600 for it, so it took me a while. I had to wait for quite a while. I've been wanting one for at least a couple of years, and eyeballing Facebook, and finally got one. So deals are out there. Just got to be patient. 1x2 tubing. Basically, I'm going to stack 2 of them I'll probably cut them off, I don't know, roughly like that, whatever. Whack it off. Probably box the ends just to make it stronger. Obviously drill a hole down it with the mount at the very end. That'll work fine. But then I got right about there is another body mount. And then I think there's one there. I forgot, it's been a while. And I know there's one right about there. So I'm going to loosen all these up here. I'm going to leave those tight because there should be enough flex in the body and the mounts and whatnot. And then the rubber mounts should be enough flex to where I can just loosen these up and kind of lift it like that. But the thing is, the back one's going to be 2 inches, but as I get closer, it's going to be less and less. So I'll start with the back, the 2-inch spacer, and then we'll go from there, see what I need for the next two. So let's get these cut and drilled and jack her up. Got it raised up. As you can see, it was laying against this flat, pretty much flat, but this is how much I raise it. A little over 2 inches. It's a little deceiving now. It's kind of hard to tell. It's still on jack stands and the back end's sitting a little lower still, but once it's on the ground, you can tell it'll be up farther. It'll look a lot better. So that sucks. It runs, but it runs like poop. Hopefully I can hunt down a throttle body for it. I haven't seen much local yet on Marketplace because there ain't much around here local to me. It's the boonies, maybe eBay, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, there's a lot of other stuff I can do while I'm waiting to find one. Windows, doors, rest of the floor, the other seat. I can fix the huge hole they cut out for the sunroof, I think it was supposed to be. I don't know. Anyways, if you got anything out of that, if you learned anything, if you got inspired by something, cool. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.